Justin, well done on that win. We know that your dream is to open a Chinese restaurant, but why is that?
Just love the food. If I open it, I get free food. We're out of business in 6 months, but...
Brilliant, brilliant stuff from the debutante. Oh, still going.
When Justin Hood stepped up to throw for the match against Josh Rock, he'd already done something no one had ever done at the World Championship. 11 consecutive doubles, no misses, perfect finishing. The crowd at Alexandra Palace was on their feet, watching a 32-year-old, making his debut at the venue, rewrite the record books. And with this win, Hood had just guaranteed himself £100,000, enough money to finally achieve his lifelong dream of opening a Chinese restaurant. But here's the question nobody was asking 6 months ago. Who the hell is Justin Hood? Born in Bath and raised in Somerset, Hood wasn't one of darts' golden boys. He wasn't fast-tracked through youth academies or hyped as the next big thing. For years, he was grinding away on the BDO and WDF circuits, the kind of player most fans had never heard of. In 2019, he made the 4th round of the World Masters, losing to eventual champion John O'Shea. Decent, but not headline material. The following year, he qualified for the BDO World Championship at Lakeside, beat Gabriel Pascaru in the preliminary round, then lost in the first round proper to Richard Veenstra. Again, respectable, but forgettable. Then came the years in the wilderness. Hood tried multiple times to earn his PDC Tour card through Q School. Every January, he'd show up with hope and leave empty-handed. He kept playing on the Challenge Tour, competed in Modus Super Series events, even won a weekend tournament there. But the big breakthrough never came. By his own admission, he was talented but inconsistent. Good enough to compete, but not committed enough to dominate. Everything changed in June 2024. Hood finally grabbed his first PDC Challenge Tour title in Leicester. It wasn't a major, it wasn't televised, but it was proof that he belonged. A month later, he stepped in as a reserve player at a Players' Championship and won his first match on that level. The pieces were starting to fall into place. When January 2025 rolled around and Q School came back, Hood was ready. This time, he got it done, securing a 2-year tour card after beating Bradley Brooks in a deciding leg thriller. Finally, after years of trying, he was a full-time PDC professional. That's when Happy Feet made his bold claim. Speaking to the media after earning his card, Hood said with a knowing smile that he'd be world champion in 3 years. People laughed. It sounded like the kind of thing every player says when they're riding high. But Hood believed it, even if no one else did. Then reality hit. His first year on tour was solid but unspectacular. He reached the 4th round of the UK Open, made the 2nd round of the Players' Championship finals, but never quite kicked on. The reason? Hood admits it himself, without hesitation: laziness. In his own words, he'd been practicing just half an hour a day, then showing up to Pro Tour events and playing. No real preparation, no discipline. He thought natural talent would be enough. It wasn't. But 6 weeks before the World Championship, something clicked. Hood started putting in 4 to 5 hours on the practice board every single day. The lazy approach was over. He later said it simply: "I've been lazy this year, but I won't be doing that again. You've got to put the time in, and I have over the last 5 or 6 weeks, and it's paying off." And boy, did it pay off. Hood arrived at Alexandra Palace ranked 86th in the world, an unseeded debutant nobody expected much from. His first opponent was Nick Kenny, and Hood destroyed him. A 3-0 whitewash with a 99.59 average. Clinical, ruthless. Suddenly, people were paying attention. Next up was Danny Noppert, the 6th seed and one of the most consistent players on tour. Hood took the first 2 sets, Noppert fought back to level it, and the match went to a sudden death-deciding leg. Both players were averaging over 100. The tension was unbearable. Hood held his nerve and hit the winning double. Alexandra Palace erupted, but Hood wasn't satisfied. He beat Ryan Meikle 4-1 in the 3rd round, averaging 94.68, and set up a 4th round clash with Josh Rock, the 11th seed and one of the most explosive scorers in darts. Nobody gave Hood a chance. Rock was averaging 96 in the tournament. He was a future star. This was supposed to be his moment. Instead, Justin Hood delivered one of the greatest performances in World Championship history. From the very first leg, Hood was flawless on the doubles. He won the first set 3-2 in legs, hitting a deciding leg double to break throw. Then he did it again in the second set. Rock could only watch in disbelief as Hood kept finding the target. By the time the third set rolled around, the crowd realized they were witnessing something special. Hood raced through 3-1, still perfect on doubles. When he stepped up in the fourth set, he was sitting on 11 consecutive doubles without a single miss. The record for most consecutive doubles at the World Championship was 10, held by Johnny Clayton. Hood had already broken it. He threw for a 143 checkout to win the match in straight sets, and for the first time all match, he missed. The double 16 stayed up. The crowd gasped. Hood steadied himself, threw again, and missed 3 more times before Rock finally held. But it didn't matter. Hood won the next leg with a 119 finish, sealing a 4-0 demolition with a 101 average and finishing 12 out of 16 on doubles. Josh Rock averaged 96.31 and didn't win a single set. After the match, Hood walked off stage to a standing ovation, his name being chanted by thousands of fans who'd never heard of him 2 weeks earlier. So who is Justin Hood really? He's a 32-year-old from Somerset who walks onto Blink 182's All the Small Things and throws left-handed with 23-gram target darts. His nickname is Happy Feet, and his sense of humour is as sharp as his finishing. After beating Noppert, he joked that being really thick helped him avoid pressure. Following the Josh Rock win, he said with a smile, "I'm not used to this. I usually get hate messages. This is mad." He's self-deprecating, funny, and refreshingly honest. When asked if his World Championship run was a fairy tale, he replied bluntly, "It's not a fairy tale. I know what I can do, and it's nice to prove it up here." But there's one part of Justin Hood's story that's captured everyone's imagination: the Chinese restaurant dream. It's not a joke. For years, Hood has said his goal is to earn enough money in darts to buy a Chinese restaurant. Why? Because he loves Chinese food.
Who wants a Chinese?
I want one.
Still gotta pay mine.
If he owns the place, he gets free meals. Simple logic. When asked about the plan after beating Ryan Makel, Hood delivered one of the best quotes of the tournament. "If I open it, I get free food. We're out of business in 6 months. The self-awareness is perfect. And now, with £100,000 guaranteed from reaching the quarter-finals, that dream is within reach." Hood's run has doubled his entire year's earnings in just 4 matches. He came into the World Championship with £39,750 in prize money for 2025. Now he's sitting on well over £100,000 and has a quarter-final against either 3-time world champion Michael van Gerwen or 2-time champion Gary Anderson. When asked if he was worried about facing legends, Hood's response was pure confidence. "I don't worry about anyone. It doesn't matter if it's those two or someone who's just got their tour card. It's a game of darts. I'm up there throwing them. The bookmakers aren't." This is a man who spent years in obscurity, failing at Q school, grinding on lower tours, wondering if he'd ever get his shot. When it finally came, he admitted he'd been lazy and unfocused. Then he decided to change. 6 weeks of serious practice transformed his game. Now he's one of the biggest stories at the World Championship, a fan favourite, and the holder of a PDC record for consecutive doubles. He's proven that talent alone isn't enough. But talent combined with work ethic and self-belief can rewrite your entire story. Justin Hood isn't a fairy tale. He's a reminder that in darts, it's never too late to put in the work and make your mark. And if he keeps playing like this, he might just fulfill that bold prediction from Q school. World champion in 3 years, 2 years left. But first, there's a quarter-final to win. And maybe, just maybe, a Chinese restaurant to buy.